Hello and welcome to this edition of Fi TV. I'm your host, Brad Swanson, and we are here just a few blocks from Florida's capital in the studios at FIT. Today I'm joined by Ed Moore, who has been on before with a bunch of other organizations, but today he's on in his new capacity as Executive Director of the RESET Taskforce, which is convened by Associated Industries of Florida. RESET, as you may or may not know, is the Restore Economic Strength Through Employment and Tourism, and they are going to furnish the governor's office and leaders in Florida recommendations on how to restart our task force. Ed, thanks for coming on.
Oh, great to be here.
It's good to see you, man.
Yeah.
All right, so
in tough times, it's always good to see good people.
Yes, I could not agree more. These are tough times for Florida, and I think the needs of the business community. Let's remind everybody, it's not just big business. This is small business. This is Sarah's Coffee Shop, all the way up to our largest employers. They need help, and they're going to need a lot of help. So tell us a little bit about the task force. It's got over 50 organizations that are coming together for this effort. Tell us what the main goal is of RESET.
Well, obviously everybody knows Florida's, like every other state, has had a shutdown due to COVID and a severe economic impact. This group, Associated Industries of Florida, planted the seed for it. Florida Retail Federation, NFIB, the National Federation of Independent Business, and the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association came together and said, we need to try to get a better handle on where we are and where we're going. The groups that came in after that, as you mentioned, I think we're up to probably about 80 organizations or associations now. We represent employers all across the state. I mean, from the largest statewide type employers like Publix or Walgreens or Walmart to smaller independent businessmen, restaurants, bars. The number of employees is, we haven't really even finally calculated that, but it's huge. Yeah. They've a big shock to our system. As most people realize, Florida is heavily dependent on tourism. That entire industry took a big whack with what's gone on. Yeah. And what we're trying to do is get a handle on, okay, when a disaster or a crisis occurs, what we tend to do, what government tends to do, is plan for the next one based on the one you just have, but they're never the same. Right. They're always different. Right. So our view is trying to look at what are the small things that could be done in change of statute, change of rules and regulations, better preparing government, and then allowing industry to understand, if this happens again, here's where we're going to be, and this is what we might do. Right. This caught everybody short. Nobody was prepared for this. You couldn't be prepared for it. Yeah. Now we can. Yeah, it's a hurricane times 10. And the impacts are every corner of the state,
nuanced and small and big, and it's just how do you put your arms around 80 different industries? And what was your philosophy going in, knowing that you had this kind of huge mandate from the business community, and they said, Ed, you're going to do all this?
Well, I'm not doing it all.
Right.
We formed 10 different working groups. Go through them real quick: agriculture, healthcare, hospitality, tourism, large employer, workforce training, legal reform, retail, manufacturing, small employers, tax, and then transportation and infrastructure. So we kind of covered the major industries and employers. I mean, I keep reminding everybody, this isn't just the business owners speaking or the shareholders speaking. We represent the employment of Florida. Right. And without these industries, we're in big trouble.
Right.
Florida still is a magnet for people around the country, particularly with the disasters that are occurring in other states. Yeah. People are coming here. Yeah. And we've got to be better prepared for where we're going to be tomorrow.
Well, I think the goals of the committee, which is why Florida Internet and Television is a part of this effort.
Thank you.
And when we think about it, the next question is when do you expect to provide these recommendations to the governor's office?
Our working groups are kind of finishing up at this point with their initial recommendations. We're looking to, my job really starts heavily now, filtering through a lot of stacks of paper. And our goal is by September, towards the end of September, to have a report that we can deliver. And Florida is different than a lot of other states. Their legislatures meet all the time, or they're in and out. our legislature doesn't come back now until the spring.
Right.
Maybe we'll have a special session, maybe not, but we want to be prepared for whatever occurs there.
All right, so selfish question here, final question, last 20 seconds. How has COVID impacted the way your task forces are meeting and conducting business versus how they used to? I mean, we're talking remote, Zoom, industry. What are we thinking?
Thank goodness for technology. Okay, and what you all do is amazing. Virtually all of the meetings have been virtual,
right?
And they've been done through various types of programs, like you mentioned, Zoom, and. As we were joking before, it enables us all to meet in short pants.
Right.
Don't have to fully dress, but very productive. At least these working groups have met, some of them been as many as 10 times.
Right.
There's a lot to go through here. So
number one protocol, turn your camera off. Don't stand up before you've turned your camera off. So that's good. All right.
It is Florida. We should be wearing shorts.
Well, Ed, thanks for your leadership as the executive director of the RESET Taskforce. Thanks for leading these different business industries, and we appreciate you, and we know the recommendations are going to be valuable for the governor to take action to help Florida's economy reset itself.
Thank you. It's a great state, and we're going to do our best.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on Fi TV. Thanks, Ed.
Thanks.
That's all the time we have for today's episode of Fi TV. On behalf of our members and the over 130,000 people it takes to connect you to the internet and to the television world, thanks for tuning in.